Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar, Acumatica ERP Overview, presented by PC Bennett Solutions. My name is Rick Collins. I'm the Director of Sales here at PC Bennett Solutions. And our goal here today is to provide you with a high-level overview of Acumatica, a modern cloud-based ERP solution. It helps companies streamline their entire business. So before we get started here, just a couple logistic items I wanted to point out. We will be placing everybody on mute initially, but we would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions, please ask them in the questions area located in the GoToWebinar tab to your right. We'll get to those questions at the end of the session, and we expect this webinar to run 40-45 minutes, so we'll leave some time at the end to have a Q&A session. And we're also going to be recording this webinar, and we'll make it available to you later today. So let's talk about today's agenda. I'm going to go through, I just have one slide on PC Bennett Solutions. Then I've got a couple slides to talk about Acumatica. And then we're going to get right into the demo. And then we'll have a Q&A session as a follow-up. So PC Bennett Solutions was founded in 2002. Today we've got 20 employees. Our headquarters are based out of the Seattle, Washington area. And we also have offices in Dallas, Texas. We're composed of industry experts with over 200 years of combined SaaS, cloud, and ERP experience. We are a gold certified Acumatica partner. Our founder and CEO, Patricia Bennett, is on the Acumatica Advisory Board. And part of our mission statement is we want 100% customer satisfaction. And just a month or so ago at our annual Acumatica's annual summit, PC Bennett was awarded the Acumatica Service Excellence Award. Pretty proud of that because it ties into that mission statement. And out of 200 global Acumatica partners, we were picked as the company that had the highest level of customer satisfaction. Acumatica queries their customers twice a year, and we had the highest scores of all of those partners. So we're very proud of that. We also won the Modern VAR Award, which relates to how we present our software, give our customers options on how they pay, and we combine support, the software implementation, and spread that out over a fixed period. So our customers have a fixed monthly amount that they can count on that includes everything, again, from the software, the implementation, and the ongoing support, unlimited training. So it's worked out very well. So very proud of both those awards out of all of the couple hundred Acumatica partners. In addition, we have won the Customer Implementation of the Year, as well as the Acumatica Innovation Partner of the Year, and we've won those 2 years in a row. So let me talk about the product here and the company, Acumatica. Acumatica is the fastest growing cloud ERP company in the world. It's about 11 years old. There's over 5,200 customers today. On my slide here, I show Acumatica has won several awards, Editors Awards, Product Awards, Usability Awards. And if you look on the map here, the global headquarters are located near us in Seattle, Washington, which is great. We're able to get down there, meet with executives, and they have support in McLean, Virginia, Columbus, Ohio, and then engineering offices globally in Mexico City, Montreal, Moscow, regional offices over in Singapore. And about one thing I think is unique, Acumatica doesn't sell directly, so they work through their partners. So about 75% of the staff of Acumatica is in the research and development department and working on building and improving the platform. Kind of as an add-on to that, in this slide, you also see some logos, Aseo in Montreal, Lexware in Germany, Visma in the Nordics, MYOB in New Zealand and Australia. These companies are large software companies. Some have tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of users that are using their software, and they independently researched how they could keep their businesses relevant in a web-based world. So they have a lot of legacy software solutions that were built on proprietary technology. They independently looked around and came to the same conclusion that we all here at PC Bennett did, was that Acumatica is the platform of the future for ERP. And some of these companies have invested in Acumatica, and others are using Acumatica's development platform in an OEM sense and a white label sense to make sure that they stay relevant again in a web-based world. So there's four main things I want to point out about Acumatica and that is kind of keeping them relevant and why they are the fastest growing company ERP solution in the world. And the first one is that they want to involve everybody, and that's everybody anywhere on any device. So Acumatica is 100% browser enabled. So that just means you can get to work. I start work at my desktop at home, and I come into work, and I'm working on my laptop. And then in the evenings, I might be at my son's baseball game, and I'm able to access everything I need to access from any browser, any internet-enabled device. So just the flexibility there makes it easy. The software is adaptable to any screen size, and there is a mobile app as well. So that functionality is great for any business. So that's one point. The second thing I want to point out is this flexible deployment model. So we're unique in the sense that customers have the option to deploy in a SaaS environment. So that's software as a service. Acumatica is hosted. If you went 100, with this software as a service option, we're hosted at Amazon. You also have the option of a licensed on-premise where you're managing the servers and getting the, managing the software, doing all that yourself. And then you have a third option of licensed in a private cloud where maybe you're already working with a Rackspace or Microsoft Azure, and you want to host it yourself there. So you have three options. I would say 90%, most of the customers will go with the SaaS option, and that's where, it removes that managing the server, managing the software, everything is, you just log in and everything is running for you. So with that, the benefits of a SaaS model, automatic backups, disaster recovery, security, compliance, integration, flexibility, scalability, high performance, and then that, of course, that ability to work anywhere. The third thing I want to talk about is the modern consumption-based licensing. So what, Acumatica's goal was to, we want to include all employees, not just a few. I talked to people, based on historical legacy systems. It's user-based. They can only get a couple of their accounting, financial people in there, but you've got people in the warehouse, you've got people driving trucks, you've got salespeople in remote locations. So the goal here is to allow everybody to access the software. So Acumatica has built a model where there's no per user license fees. So the benefits of that, it kind of removes those business bottlenecks. You don't have to worry about who has access. It's all based on role and by user and security. And then that can also extend to your customers and partners if you want to give your customers access to the information, vendors, you have the ability to do that. So it's not, you don't have to call up and say, hey, I want to add somebody, or hey, somebody left. We don't care how many people that you add to that system. And then finally, kind of the other big point that kind of lends to Acumatica's fast growth is the open API concept, where in a web-based, cloud-based world, a lot of these products that you see on this slide, you may already be using, and Acumatica already has integrations into these solutions. And because it's open API, every screen in Acumatica has access to web services. So what that means is if you have other technologies or other software you're using today, it also gets you into that mode of future-proof, where technologies that may not exist today or they're going to come down that might be relevant to your specific business. In this web-based world, Acumatica is set up so it's not proprietary technology. You have access to build upon this open API platform. So a lot of transparency there. So those are kind of the 4 main points that I wanted to point out about Acumatica and its fast growth. And so you tie all that together, and what that leads to is what you're getting is an all-in-one integrated web-based solution. What that's going to do is provide you with real-time, up-to-the-minute information. So that leads to faster response times, both for your employees and for customers. Imagine automating the business processes. So today, if you're manually pushing paper and somebody's got to fill something out and then take that information and fill it out someplace else, imagine being able to automate that and push a button and have a dashboard that shows you what you need to work on and move that through the approval process. And that leads to improved customer satisfaction and, again, faster response times. With a solution like this, you have unlimited scalability. You might have seasonality to your business. Maybe you've got periods, Christmas time, where things are going to grow fast. Black Monday, whatever it's called. You have the ability to scale up and scale down with this product. You also have the benefit of getting, from a business owner standpoint, a 360-degree view of the entire business. So that's going to lead to better decision making. Everything that you need to know about your business, from inventory to sales to customers to vendors to payments, all of that's going to be available to you on a dashboard. And that trickles down to those individual users as well. They're going to have the visibility into just what they need to get their job done. That leads into the robust security and reporting. So again, you tie that together where if you have by role and by user, people see what they need to see to get their job done. Unlimited reporting capabilities. Again, you have access to all that data, so it's just a matter of showing you what you need in real time. I talked about future-proof, so integrating with other web apps, so it's not a proprietary system. And then from a business owner standpoint, you have that peace of mind with the business continuity. Things happen, floods, fires, earthquakes, hurricanes, all those things. Your business is going to go on without missing a beat when it's in the cloud, backed up. So that kind of business continuity is important. The next slide that I want to talk about is, oops, forgot to push my highlight here, is the modules and additions. Acumatica is based on additions. So from a bigger picture, if you're a manufacturer, there's a set of products that come with the manufacturing edition, same with distribution. If you need to go make calls, calendaring, set up appointments, work orders, project management, you've got these main editions, and then within each one of those are modules. Now, there's over a dozen specific modules. Not everybody needs CRM, not everybody needs project accounting. So you start with that higher level edition that gives you the functionality you need that's most relevant to your business, and then you can add on individual modules as well. So that's all I have to say about Acumatica. We're going to get into the demo itself. The agenda today is we're going to go through the Acumatica, just the general navigation and user experience. And by the way, Acumatica has won the highest awards over all of the ERP systems as far as usability. So that just means that your employees are able to adapt and start using the system immediately. We're going to go through order to cash. If you are using Outlook or Office 365 and want to tie in your emails easily, take a look at that. Give an example of the mobile app and how that's tied in from a mobile solution standpoint. Talk a little bit about the customer portal, and then show some reporting. So Without further ado, let me introduce Uday Soni, who is PC Bennett's Solution Sales Engineer. Uday holds a Master's of Science degree in Industrial Engineering and a degree in Business Process Engineering, and he has several years' experience architecting these ERP solutions. So, Uday, if you are ready.
Yeah, thank you, Rick. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just let me know if you can make me the presenter. My screen now?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Welcome again, everyone, to today's webinar and overview of Acumatica. I'm very excited to show you what this modern cloud-based ERP is all about. As you can see, I'm on Google Chrome and on my Acumatica landing page. Acumatica sign-on allows for Active Directory, Google OAuth 2.0, and two-factor authentication. Basically, two-factor authentication, what it does is, if you put in a password, it could send in a second authentication request as a push notification on your phone in order to give you a higher and tighter security layer and into logging into Acumatica. So I'm going to log in into Acumatica right here. So Acumatica is your end-to-end business solution, and like Rick said, it's accessible from any device, be it a laptop, desktop, mobile phone, iPad, and is supported by almost any browser. You're going to see that as we progress through this webinar that I'm going to be using several different browsers. All you need is internet access. Acumatica is a role-based and a module-based system. So on my left, what you see is these different modules. And what I mean by role-based is if you have an employee working in the accounts receivable department, that employee wouldn't have access to accounts payable or inventory management if you decide to do so. It also has a field-level security layer wherein that accounts receivable employee would not see different fields that you set to have them no access to. So I'm going to go over some of these modules, and as I go through these modules, you see on the right the workspaces, corresponding workspaces that open up. So workspaces are nothing but functional activities that you can perform within these modules. In the time and expense module, you can see your task, your approvals. You can track employee time activities. You can submit your expense receipts. Going over to my finance module, you can see under transactions, you can see your journal transactions. You can come and create a new journal entry. You can see your chart of accounts. Very crucial, important statements such as your profit and loss and balance sheet. Another module that I wanted to show you was the sales order module. Over here, you can come and create a new sales order. You can create new codes. You can see your printed forms and modify them as per your needs. The forms here are sales orders, invoices, and memos. Again, several reports such as your sales order summary, sales order details by customer. The latest edition that you're seeing today is Acumatica 2019 R1. It is straight out of the box. That is, you're not going to see any third-party integrations that are installed or configured. But one of the neat features that Acumatica has added in this edition is the warehouse management system module. So within sales order, you can actually perform pick, pack, and ship using a mobile device that is either Android or iOS supported and has scanning capabilities. You can use this scanning capabilities within purchasing and inventory management as well to do putaways, receiving on your PO receipts, physical inventory, physical counting. The other feature that Acumatica allows is for working between various companies and branches. As you can see on the top here, I've been working in the Revision 2 Products branch, and my theme out here is a blue color. But when I go to my Services West branch here, you can see it is marooned or dark red color. So this helps users realize within what branch they're working and to prevent any accidental transactions. So this is a latest feature, again, in the latest release of Acumatica. Again, while I was going through those several modules, you might have seen everything that is laid out neatly and in extreme consistency. So your transactions, processes, printed forms, profiles all match with the different modules, which increases user satisfaction and user adoption. The other feature about Acumatica is the universal search. So you can basically search for anything in here that is on your system. It could be vendors, customers, items, codes, invoices. All you have to do is start typing for what you want to look. So say suppose I'm going to look for an item that is called AA Lego. I'm going to start typing AAL and hit the search here and go under transactions and profiles. So I see everything that is related to that item. So I see it as a finished good, and in my transaction and profiles, I see its profile out here. I can also navigate to this files tab on here and see if there are any files associated with this item. So I see there's a JPG file associated with that item. Say suppose you have a new employee and you want to train them on how to create a sales order, you can use Acumatica as a help topics. All you have to do is again come onto the search bar and search for create sales orders. So I'm really quickly going to show you how Acumatica's help topics help you look at relevant documentation about something you want to see or you want to do, but you have no idea about how to do it. So as I typed in create sales orders, you see it brought up all the relevant documentation regarding sales orders. The next thing on the agenda is something called as a generic inquiry. So a generic inquiry is basically you reaching out to the database to fetch out real-time information that makes sense to you. And this information is laid out extremely neatly in a great looking format. Over here, you see many of my cells are highlighted. It is a latest feature which is included in the 2019 R1 release. It's called conditional highlighting. You can highlight information that makes sense to you. So here, what you see is for my opportunities that have the status of 1, you see they're highlighted in light green. And for my opportunities with an amount, a dollar amount greater than 20,000, they're highlighted in a darker green shade. Another cool feature that you can do within generic inquiries is filtering. So say suppose I want to see all of my opportunities that have the status of lost. So I can come here and quickly just select my lost status and see all of these opportunities that have the lost status. I can go and create specific filters real quickly and easily by just hovering above this filter and selecting what I want to see. These tabs that you see on top are such filters that have been created by users. You can set these as your default pages, or you can also share these filters within your whole organization. The other feature of this generic inquiry is a side panel. So basically, what a side panel does is it helps you dive into information based on that specific entity you're looking at. So over here, you can see my opportunity 374. And if I open my side panel right from here, so you should see it's diving deep into information pertaining to that opportunity 374. You can see activities, any items that were on that opportunity, any details about that opportunity. You can see the amounts associated, any codes that were sent out. So again, right between the screen, I can dig deeper and see information that constitutes that opportunity. Going back to my home page, you must have noticed a colorful dashboard. So another thing I realized was this theme, this maroon red theme, which indicates that I'm working in my wrong branch. I'm supposed to go to revision 2 capital. So I just proved how a user could realize if they're in the wrong branch. So on my home screen, you see this dashboard, which is a customer view dashboard. A dashboard is something that gets you information about what you want to see, what makes sense to you, and the way you want to see it. So you can see KPI cards, you can see data tables, you can see some charts, and you can see some diagrams. And the good feature about these dashboards is it's bringing information from various modules all in one place. So as you can see on top, my orders to ship is coming from my sales order module. My open opportunities is fetching data from my CRM module, and my total credit extended and overdue AR balances is fetching data from my accounts receivable module. So if I click on this orders to ship card out here, it should take me exactly to those orders that are open. So you can see at the bottom out here, you see those 5 open orders. And like I said, how Acumatica is used by different browsers. Now I switched to Mozilla Firefox, and you can see a sales dashboard that was created using Power BI. So Acumatica allows you to integrate your powerful analytical tools into Acumatica via an OData connection. So all you have to do is check the expose to OData box in one of the settings, and you can see your dashboards that you've created in Microsoft Power BI for this instance, and consume it within Acumatica. So as you see the sales by state dashboard, it's consuming the data from my backend into and it's displaying it in Acumatica. So if I click on the state of Texas, you can see it's going to generate information that's pertaining to the state of Texas. And if I just click outside, it brings me back all of the information that was on there. So again, it allows for powerful analytical tools to be integrated. Going back to my homepage, so I come back to my sales order screen right here. On the top, you can see are these 4 quick action tiles. So what these tiles are basically are action items that you perform regularly on a day-to-day basis. These are based on users, so you can set these to whatever you want to. So basically, I can set, so the tile that you see on here is a new sales order. So say an order entry person enters sales order. This tile, if I click on it, would take me to a new sales order form. Also on top right here, you see is a quick menu. So all of these options out here are my quick menu options. And if I just click on it, it gives me a full menu, which is all of my functionalities within the sales order module. But by just a few clicks, I can go into edit menu and check whatever I want and uncheck whatever I don't want in my quick menu, which makes it more user friendly. And also besides each of these action items, you see a star. So you can see the star, which is highlighted in yellow. This means that it's added to my favorites. So I can go ahead and add anything to my favorites by just clicking on the star. So here you see this favorites workspace. So if I go to that favorites workspace, now you should see my invoices as my favorites. So I can go into these various different modules and select any of those action items to be under my favorites workspace. Also, when I right click on any of these action items, I see open in new tab and open in new window. So basically it allows you to open this action item in a new tab or a new window, and you can drag that tab or window onto your multiple displays if you use multiple displays. The next thing on the agenda is order to cash. So basically, in this, what you're going to see is a sales order, how a sales order is generated in Acumatica, how that sales order is transferred into a shipment, how items are picked, packed, and shipped to your customer, and how your customer receives the invoice. So again, going back to my sales order module, I can either go and create a new sales order, or under the transactions, I can hit on sales order, and it should bring up a screen that has all of my sales orders to date. So I'm going to go into one of these sales orders that I've already created just for this webinar. So As you can see, it populates information in real fast speed. What you see out here is my customer, that a bartender, my items that the customer had requested. This little button that you see, load records from a file, which is grayed out right now, is something that lets you import any purchase orders that are in spreadsheet format, so you don't have to manually come in and enter line items, which decreases manual data entry and increases efficiency. Also, what you see on this sales order form are different tabs out here. So you see tax details, information pertaining to tax details pertaining to this sales order and that customer. You can see shipping settings where you can select the way you want to ship items from this sales order. So for this sales order, we selected a UPS ground. The other thing that I can do from this screen is email the sales order to the customer directly. So just by clicking on this email sales order or code, it's going to email this sales order to the customer. And you see on here the activities, it's going to record it as an activity. So it shows that on 11th April, I sent this sales order to the customer, and it attaches that sales order as a PDF. So under Files, you can see that the sales order is attached as a PDF. So for the sake of this webinar, I went ahead and I created the shipment. So the next thing that you do after a successful entry of a sales order is creating a shipment. So all you have to do is go to Actions and create a shipment. But I've gone ahead and done that. So under my Shipments tab, you see information pertaining to the different things I do in the process from order to cash. So I see my shipment document number, which is 2365, opening up. And this shipment has been confirmed and it has been shipped. But the real cool thing I want to show right here is, since we used UPS ground and we confirmed the shipment, you can see a tracking number that is generated. You can also see on the left side here that the label is attached. So if I open this up, you should actually see my UPS ground label that was generated. I can go to Actions and print labels, but since this shipment is confirmed, it won't let me perform those actions. But you have the ability to print labels right from here. You can also email, going back to the shipment, sorry. You can also email this shipment confirmation directly to the customer. Like again, since it is completed, it won't let you do it. Then going back to my order, so you can see right from my shipment, now I'm going to go back to my order, the original order, and see information all in one place. So under my Shipments tab now, you see how I created my shipment, which was confirmed and shipped. The next thing that I did from the shipment was prepare an invoice and send that invoice out to the customer. So you can see how these columns start filling up. So after the shipment was created and confirmed, and I created that invoice, I'm going to go navigate to that invoice and see that invoice that was sent out to the customer. You have the ability to either email this invoice if your customer prefers emails, or you can also print them out and mail them if your customer prefers invoice via mails. The other thing that I wanted to show you was how all of these different modules in Acumatica talk to each other. So if I go into my Invoices Financial Details tab, you should see a general ledger batch number that was created, so which is showing you all of the accounts that were hit during this sales order transaction. So you can see how my accounts receivable account was debited for that amount, and all of the other relevant accounts were credited with those amounts. So again, it's showing you how Acumatica talks, how different modules in Acumatica are connected and talk to each other, giving you real-time information. The other thing, on the agenda is the customer portal. Acumatica allows you to give access to your customers to log into a portal, place sales orders, view documents, statements pertaining to them. So I'm going to log into the portal as Sam Malone, who is a contact at our customer USA bartending. So while I give it a few seconds, you see Sam Malone is going to log in into the portal uh, and see what a customer could see on the portal. So here Sam Malone can see his open cases, any documents, any statements. So if he goes to browse open cases, or sorry, browse uh, my orders, he can see the status of his orders. He can see that this 4792 is completed, and an order that he placed through the portal 4789 is in open status. So several things Sam Malone could do from the portal. He can go and view documents. So if I go to my documents, Sam Malone should see relevant documentation that is that is relevant to that customer. So you see, it's loading up right now. Since there's a lot of documents, it's taking a while, but you can see now all of the invoices, prepayments, payments associated to that customer are all on this. So Sam Malone doesn't have to call up your customer service or accounting department to find information that he's seeking. He could just log into the customer portal and go create sales orders or look at the various information out there. So going back to my sales orders, the order that Sam Malone had placed is right here through the portal. So you can see it's open, and you can see on a description that Sam Malone had placed an order via the customer portal. The next thing on the agenda is showing you Acumatica's app. So just bear with me for a few seconds while I cast my phone onto my screen. So you see here, I'm going to log into Acumatica using my phone's features, that is my facial recognition. So within the app, just bear again, it's going to take a few seconds. Okay, this loads up pretty fast. So within the app, you can perform various different things. You can see expense receipts. You can submit expense receipts. You can tie up all your receipts together and submit them as claims. You can approve items that you're assigned to approve. So say you're out on a vacation, but there's an important document that you are the approver of. You should see it under your approvals. You can see your cases, opportunities, your contacts. Again, highlighting Acumatica's WMS feature. So you should see a warehouse management module in this mobile application, and the dashboard that you saw on my homepage is something that I'm going to see on my mobile device right here. So what you're seeing is a consistent layout of that dashboard now on a different device, and I'm seeing the same information that I was seeing on the website of the software. So I'm going to show you real quick how to go and submit an expense receipt. So if I'm out on the field and if I go eat lunch or fill gas, all I need to do is come in and enter a new expense receipt. So right now I'm going to go ahead and submit an expense receipt for say $50 for gas that I filled while I was out. So I select my expense item. It's going to be car and vehicle charges, and I'm going to give it an amount of 50 and go take a picture of that receipt. So it's right here. I'm taking a picture of my receipt. So it allows you to size this picture as you like, just reducing the size so it doesn't occupy much size on your database, giving you much better efficiency. So right now I'm done, and now I'm going to go ahead and save this expense receipt. So after I submit this expense receipt as a claim, and say suppose you were the approver of this expense receipt, you could have all you could have done is simply clicked on this approvals item, and if you were the approver, it would have showed up just on here, and all you had to do was approve it right from this mobile device. So I'm going to go back to my web application and show you where that expense receipt is out there. So if I go to my expense receipt sitting right here, you should see my $50 gas and the physical copy of that receipt associated with it. So if I click on it, it should bring up that image of that receipt that I just took. So now the person who submitted that expense receipt need not worry about taking care of this receipt. And someone sitting in the office who is the approver sees it in their task. Hey, this expense receipt now needs to be approved. The next thing on the agenda for today is Acumatica's Outlook add-in. So Acumatica allows you to use the add-in inside of Outlook. So say if you're a salesperson and you have a list of new contacts in every email, and all you do is create contacts or log activities against those contacts. And if you have Office 365, you can use the Acumatica Outlook add-in. So you can see I can click on Francis Baby and hit the Acumatica add-in button out here. It should say several different things I could do. So Acumatica is smart enough to realize that Francis Baby is already a contact in the system. So I can go ahead and log this activity against Francis Baby. So once I create this activity and go back into my web-based Acumatica, so if I search for Francis now, it should be, that activity should be under Francis. So all within a few clicks, I'm seeing something from Acumatica, from Outlook into Acumatica, and I didn't have to log into Acumatica separately and create an activity. So as you can see, that activity is right here. So another cool feature if you work in Outlook a lot. Moving on in the agenda next is reports, which are important to every business. Everyone likes to view reports, but creating reports is daunting for several people. Acumatica allows three different methods of reporting. It uses a tool called Analytical Report Manager for creating your financial reports. It uses an Acumatica reporting tool for your basic forms such as checks, sales order reports, etc. And also, generic inquiry can also be used for reporting purposes. You can expose those generic inquiries to be consumed in Excel or Power BI or Tableau using that OData connection. You can also create pivot tables out of those generic inquiries. For today's webinar, I'm going to go ahead and show you two different reports. So under sales orders, I'm going to show you my sales order details by customer report. So when I run these reports, I can actually come and create templates. So I've already created a template to show me this report for the month of March. So I come in, select my template, and I run this report. So I'm going to see information that loads up real quick about all of the sales orders, sales transactions performed for each customer in a neat looking layout. And here you can see these sales orders. I can drill right into them. So if on any Acumatica screen the cursor turns into a hand, you can actually drill into those right from there. Over here you see is this groups button. So if I'm looking to directly look at information about a bartender, all I could do was click on this group button and click on a bartender. It should take me to that landing page where all of that information about bartending, USA Bartending School is on that report. So just by a few clicks, I can actually navigate to what I want to see. The other report that I want to show you is the profit and loss, which is again one of the most important reports for every organization. And again, going back to my template for the month of December, I run this report. And now what you see is a report. Acumatica allows for consolidating reporting. So what you're seeing is are these numbers that have been consolidated. So like I said, I'm in Revision 2 Capital, which is my head company, but then all of these different companies and branches, the numbers that you see on here are those consolidated numbers. I can again click on these numbers and see those originating transactions that made up those numbers. And if I click on my groups icon now, I can see information pertaining to any specific branch if I'm interested. So if I just want to see my year-to-date total sales revenue for my Services West branch, I can just click on my Services West branch and see that it brings up information real quick in no time about the Services West branch. Again, if I click on my services company, now it's bringing me information on this report about my Services East branch and my West branch consolidated. And again, at the topmost, if I click on this, I'm seeing my information about my whole business. So this is what I had for today's webinar. I hope you enjoyed the look and feel of what Acumatica is. And again, what you saw today is Acumatica out of the box. There's more to this, such as the Manufacturing Edition, Field Service Edition, the Commerce Edition. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or wish to see something specific. Thanks again for your time. And over to you, Rick.
Sure. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. And at this time, I'm going to unmute everybody. If you would like to ask a question, you can ask a question. If you want to ask a question in the question box down there, you can do that. And if I do, when I do unmute, if you are asking a question, make sure your phone is not muted.
I have a question.
Sure.
Oh, you had said that the number of users is unlimited.
Correct.
In the beginning. So is that apply for, are there different levels of the Acumatica program you can purchase, or is it that across the board for everything that there's unlimited users?
Sure, yeah, there is, good question. So yeah, there are, with Acumatica, you can see there's a lot of stuff going on in the background there, and depending on the size of your business, the number of transactions, we've got some companies that are doing, 10,000 orders a day, and so what we want to do is get you in the right resource level initially, and so there are some different resource levels that you can get into. We also have, there is, that doesn't apply to everybody. We have an option for small business editions, and we also have something where Acumatica is very transparent, working with our customers as well. So if you've got a few users but lots of transactions, then you've got some options that way as well. So the small business edition is limited up to 10 users. So that's the one where there are customers out there that are in that scenario that want to get into this and allows them to grow, and the unlimited users is not as big a factor for them. So that is an option as well. So it's several different. So to answer your question, several different options, and again, Acumatica, and we will work on your behalf to get you into something that works best for your particular situation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I'm not seeing any other questions at this point. So what I would like to offer is, if anybody would like to get further information, see a demo, have specific questions, or want to see specific use cases for their particular business, please reach out to me. Let me contact information at the bottom of the screen here, in case you want to reach back out with any questions. And again, we're happy to provide any demos if you got specific use cases or have any questions. We've got lots of resources available too. But we would like to thank everybody for taking some time today and going through. We hope you found that information valuable. And at this point, let's do one last check. I do have a question about seeing the manufacturing module, and yes, we are happy to coordinate with you. I will reach back out to you, and we can set up that demo as well, and get that so you can see specifically, get your questions answered. All right, so I don't see any more questions. So at this point, again, thank you everybody for attending. Again, hope you found that valuable. We have recorded this, so I will send out a link to the recording if you need to refer back to anything. And we thank you very much, and we look forward to speaking with you further. Thank you very much.